Hi guys, how are you doing and welcome back. If you've noticed, I haven't been posting for quite a while, actually 2 weeks, and I'm really sorry about that because I've been quite inconsistent with my posting lately, and I don't really know why. Because a lot of things have been happening that I cannot put a blame on anybody or anything, but yeah, it was I had no control over everything that was happening, and yeah, so to some extent I just had to put uh, um, I just had to put creating content on hold and focus on some things. So as you've seen from the title, it's actually about moving in and moving back. No, sorry, it's about moving out and moving back in to the the house that you are actually used to seeing. And yeah, about moving out, I cannot really say that you are looking for a house at the time that you are shifting, even though we had been looking for a house previously. Actually, it was the start of the year. It was the start of the year, sorry. We wanted to at least go to a better house. I'm not complaining that our house is not good, but a much better house, if you understand. So it was the start of the month, which is March. I traveled to go see my parents because I had not seen them for since the year 2022 started. So I traveled to go see them, and I was there for like 1 week and some days. And when I came back, actually no, it was the end of February. We actually got a house, and it was really funny how we got that house. Because there's a day that my hubby he went out with a friend, and when he came back he told me about a certain house he had been told that was they were actually new apartments. And as the way he told me, the house seemed quite nice, because he was like, it has gym, and it has a rooftop swimming pool, and the houses are quite nice, the finishing is amazing. I was like, why don't we just go and look at these apartments? So yeah, we planned on going actually the following day. So the following day we went to these apartments, and oh my god, they were amazing. They were actually so nice. The houses are quite nice. The finishing were amazing. Yeah, it had a rooftop swimming pool. It had a gym, and I was like, yeah, this is like the house that you've been looking for. And the first, the first house that we checked, uh, I was sold, because it was just a 2 bedroom. It had 3 balconies. Yeah, it had 3 bathrooms. Both the both the both the bedrooms had both the bedrooms were en suite, and it had an extra toilet for maybe say the visitors. And I was like, yeah, this is what we've been looking for, since where we live has only one bathroom, so we have to share the bathroom amongst all of us, and also plus our visitors. I was like, yeah, this is what I'm this can be so nice for us, right? So they're like, yeah, this is where we're moving to. And just like that day we paid for the deposit, and when we came back to the house, we were like, imagine you're moving out just like that. We didn't have time to think about anything. uh we actually didn't have time to think, because everything was all right. It had everything that you had been looking for all along. So that was towards the end of February. So that's when in March, it was the start of March, I went to see mom and dad. And when I came back 1 week and some days later, we started working on how to we started working on the house that we were to move into, right? Because it had the cream paint, which I do not like. So we had to paint the walls to white. And yeah, before moving in, we had to paint the walls, we had to make sure everything was all right. And imagine they were also giving us black dust bins, and I was like, yeah, this is nice. So during that week, we were just busy working on the things that needed to be improved in the house. We painted the walls, we did everything. I also called somebody to clean the house for us, a lady. She was so nice. She did the work so well. And yeah, so actually I think this match was just about moving out, that I even forgot about creating content, even though I'd taken a video on I'd actually taken a video on empty house tour, that house, because I was actually supposed to share the video with you and show you where we were going to. But I actually do not know what happened, that I did not know. Yeah, I do know what happened. So on Thursday, since I usually post on Fridays, on Thursday I had a day off, and I was to edit the video. I actually woke up very early at 3 o'clock in the morning to start editing the video. Do you know what happened? The software that I usually use crashed. Yeah, it actually did crash. That was on Friday 3 a.m. in the morning, and yet I was supposed to post at 10. So the software crashed. I could not edit the video. It was already late. I was like, no, I cannot do it now. Let me postpone it to the following week. So I did not post the video. I did not post the video for you guys. I waited until the following week. Yeah, so that's actually another reason why I did not post on between the 2 weeks that I didn't. And for the next Friday, actually you cannot tell. I'm not really sure what happened. But on moving out, we moved out on 30th. Yeah, on 30th. Was 30th 30th was a Wednesday, I think. Yes, 30th was on a Wednesday. So we planned to move on 30th, because you know where we live, because you know when somebody moves out, you have to store in a deposit. You have to, because we had painted the wall, we had made some adjustments to the house, the kitchen, as you know, we made some improvements in the kitchen, the toilet, there were some improvements in the toilet. So we were not really sure if we were going to be refunded the deposit. So we had to move out before the month started and go to the agents about the deposit issue. Fortunately, one of our neighbors wanted our house. She was like, yeah, I want to move into your house, do not change anything. So I think that was quite amazing. So because she just wanted the house to be the way it is. She didn't want us to paint it back to the way it is. She didn't want us to remove anything. I mean, the wallpaper, the contact papers. She wanted it the way it was. And I was so glad, because that meant that our deposit, at least, we were going to be given the deposit. So that was actually the reason as to why we decided to move on 30th before first started. So moving day was actually so smooth. I cannot complain. It was actually so smooth. We moved the guys who moved us, Alpha movers. They were actually so, I think they are so professional, and they do their job, they do their work so professionally. I'm glad, and I'm so happy we worked with them. And yeah, so the day that they moved us, everything went on smoothly. They came very early at around 8 o'clock in the morning, so that by 11, I think, everything was in the lorry. And yeah, so we finally moved to our amazing house. And I was like, I haven't shared anything about moving out with my subscribers. And I don't know, I was just waiting for that perfect moment to share with you everything that has been happening with me, or with us. And funnily enough, where we moved to was like, if you went by foot, it was like a 10-minute walk. Seriously, it was like you see where we live right now. It was like the opposite side, because in the middle there's a super highway. So it was like on the opposite side. So it was like a 10 minutes walk, but if you drive there, it was like a 5-6 minutes. Yeah, since you have to use the roundabout to arrive at the place. So in 6 minutes time we were at our place, and I actually had to they actually had to do a lot of things, mostly with the curtains, because that house, the curtains had to be adjusted. Yeah, so I went and adjusted all the curtains that we had so that they fit in that new house. I was still not ready to buy new curtains yet. I just had to use the ones that we currently have. So, what can I say about that day? The movers arranged everything the way they found them, me instructing them on where to put some few things, and at around 4 o'clock they were done, and they left. They left us in our new house. And also another thing about the house, the bulbs that were supposed to be used were, I don't know, just the light were there. They were not the exact. They're not the bulb holders were kind of different from the previous house, let me say so. It was kind of different, so we had to buy other bulbs. We had to buy different bulbs, which we were not even getting at that time. We were not getting the bulbs that we wanted. We actually got only 3 at Quickmart. So we were to order some from Jumia, because I got some at Jumia. So the following day was to place an order and get the bulbs. So since the movers had arranged, they cannot really arrange the things the way you want them. You want the things to be arranged. And one thing that I came to realize after arranging the things, a lot of things were at the balconies. Actually, all the balconies. Not everybody. No, sorry, not everything fit properly in the house. And for the living room, our seats they did not fit as the one they used to be in this other house. So I was like devastated, because when I sat on the living room, it was kind of small. It was smaller than after the seats had been placed. The living room was kind of small than the previous house. And I'm actually so sorry I did not take a video on that, because if I had taken a video, I would have actually shown you the way it looked. Now that is one. Another thing is the kitchen. You see, in our previous house, I'm talking about previous because right now I'm basing actually the story on where we currently are at that house, that new house. We actually used to, when you are in the living room, the house is also an open kitchen. When you're in the living room, what I used to see was just the window, the window, and all the other things, the fridge, the cooker, everything else was on the other side. So when you sit in the living room, you cannot really see, you cannot, as in the sight that meets your eye is just the curtain, right? But now in this house, the kitchen window was on the other side of the wall, the opposite side of the wall. So the fridge, the cooker, and everything were just like, when you sit in the living room, what you see are those things. And it was kind of cluttered. I felt like this kitchen is cluttered. It feels cluttered, right? Because it's kind of different. And it's not a good different. It was not, to me, it was not a good different. Because I really do not like clutter, and I felt like everything was just like in the same place. And there was no space, since I think I noticed that the house was kind of smaller than the one we were in after moving in. After arranging everything else, that's when I realized that the house was smaller. But before then, I was like, yeah, this house, it's kind of the same size as the other one, because this one has 3 bathrooms. There's also an extra bathroom that if this bathroom was removed, then the space it would have been just like the other house. But either way, it was not it was not it did not it didn't it was not that good different. I don't know if you understand what I mean, but yeah, guys, it was a very different view. And we were on the 6th floor. Actually, in that house we were on the 6th floor. And I don't know, so from that from arranging the house, and I kind of just I kind of I sort of just felt a certain feeling that no, something is not right. Just after arranging the kitchen and the living room, I felt like something was not right. And when we went to the bed to the bedroom, it was nice. Our bed fit quite well, and the two side tables fit also quite well. There was no space for the dresser. It was quite small. The space for the dresser was actually quite small. So everything was just, I'm actually not complete. The house is nice, but I'm just comparing it to the one that we used to live in. Actually, that is the I think that is the main problem. In as much as that house was more modern than the other one, we had gotten attached to the other house. It was more spacious. It was actually more spacious. There's a space that you can place a dining table, a dining set, if you so wish. And for the other one, no space for dining table. Most of our items were at the balcony, you know. So we were even talking about changing the seats. We were talking about selling out the seats, then purchasing a different one, another one that would fit in the space. So it's kind of, we were compromising a lot of things. We had changed the we had talked of giving out some things, several things. So that meant that we were actually getting rid of some things that were not working in the space. I cannot say that there were things that we did not need. We needed them, but there was no space for them. So yeah, it was that night. Actually, I did not even cook that night. We had coffee and some bread that we had. I could not cook. I was very tired, and yeah, my mind was, I had an headache. I just needed to rest and think things through. Because I was like, maybe when I'll be done with arranging everything else, then it will be okay. Shock on me. At night, I went to bed at around, was it 11? My husband was still awake. He's the one who kept asking me, have you made a mistake? Have you done the right thing? I was like, yeah, we've done the right thing, because this house, it is more modern than the other one. It is, I cannot complain. Maybe because of the space. I actually kept telling him, maybe the space, this house has 3 bathrooms, the other one only has one. So maybe if this extra bathroom was not here, maybe things would have been different. I was actually the one convincing him, and he was like, no, 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 something is wrong. I feel like we've made a mistake. And I was like, no, it's not a mistake. It was like, I want you to accept that you've made a mistake so that you can move on. If you keep denying that you've done the right thing, I think we will keep regretting the decision that we made. Because first of all, it was a rash decision. I can say that we had not thought through of moving out, even though we had been looking for a house. But at that moment, a friend told him about the house, and when we went to look at the house, we were all sold, and we were like, yes, let's move. So the following month we moved. You see, it was not like, I don't know if you understand me. But anyway, guys, that night was a long night. Have you ever had a long night? I mean, I kind of had a long day, and the night that I was supposed to just rest and think things through, I could not rest. At around 12, was it even 12? There's a certain club. Actually, I live in Thika. There's a certain club. There's a certain club. It was not close to the house. It was a bit far. Actually, I did not even know that the club was there. But the music that was playing in that club could clearly be heard in this house. Every music, when the music changed all through the night, the noise was too much. And I was like, no. But that's the moment I was like, no, I could not, yani singeweza kulala. Hata usingizi sikupata usingizi. I was like, no. Something is wrong. I woke up, and when I didn't even wake up because I could not be able to get to sleep, right? And through our window, the bedroom window, the lights that were, I think they were the street lights, and there were also the building lights. So it was, you know, when you sleep, you kind of want that, you don't want much light, right? But our lights were off, but the lights from outside were clearly illuminating the house. It was like, no. I was like, no. And the noise was extreme. So at 2 o'clock at night, 2 a.m. at night, that night, I think I kind of fell asleep just for a short time, and when I woke up, it was 2:36. My hubby was awake. I was like, babe, nini mbaya? I didn't want to confirm. I was denying. I denied. Ati I told him that usingizi yangu imeisha. I actually thought that it was 6 a.m. in the morning, because the room was actually, it was the light that were coming in was quite, made the room quite clear. I thought it was 6 in the morning. So I was like, usingizi yangu imeisha. I asked him about the time. What's the time? Kanambia it's 2:36. It's 2:36. I was like, what? 2:36? And that noise, where is that noise coming from? So that, from that noise, guys, we had a serious talk. We decided to just talk it out, just iron out the issues. Why did we move? The pros and cons of this house, the house that we're currently spending the night in, and the pros and cons of the house that we left. Yeah? So the negative of this other house, the one that you're currently spending the night in, outweighed the pros 100%. The only problem that the house that we moved out from had was just, it only had one bathroom. And we were looking to change to a better place, right? But it seemed like we moved from a better place to some place that was not, because even our friends they were actually flabbergasted when we told them about moving out. They were like, no, but the way your neighborhood is nice. Now where are you going to? See what? Huh? So we just had to have a realistic talk between ourselves, and really decide if it was a right decision that we made, or if we would live to regret the decision that we made. We were just, it was actually less than 24 hours, and our house was still there. The one that we had moved from. The neighbor that was supposed to move in that house had not done that. I don't know if she was planning on moving in the following day, or which day. So just there and then, we decided to move back. It was kind of dramatic, so dramatic. At that night, my hubby, we actually talked to the movers. We talked to the movers about moving us back in to where we came from. He was like, oh my god, I'm sorry, what happens? What? You know, to cut the long story short, they are the ones who came back to move us back into where we came from. And our neighbors were, I know people were amazed, even though somebody cannot just clearly, what happened? You guys moved yesterday and you're here today. There's actually, my son's friend is 5 years. When when moving back, he was just downstairs playing, and he was like, kwani Lori nawapeleka anywhere mnataka kuenda? I really laughed, because he didn't understand what was happening. He was like, we had just moved on the following day, and the other day, and now we are here, and the lorry is still here at Mama Eden. Kwani, what is happening? I could not even explain it to him because he could not understand. I was like, I just had to tell him something else, because he's such a good friend to my son, and actually that is another thing that I could have regretted if we had moved moved out 100%. Because now where we went to, it was an apartment, where you cannot even, the neighbors, you cannot, even though there are neighbors, yes, but it's not as, I cannot say it's not as homey as the place that we are currently in. And I'm actually so grateful that we got to decide first and move back to our house before it was taken. Because if we had lost this house, I think we'd have regretted for quite a while. We'd have regretted for quite long. And yeah, in as much as it was a dramatic turn of events, I'm actually so grateful. It has actually made me to appreciate the place that we are currently in more. You see that say that normally goes, you get to appreciate what you have or you lose it. I was at that state 100%. I get to appreciate this place so much. I love it so much. Each and every time I wake up, I look through the window. The view is amazing. There's no noise. 100%. There's no noise. It is actually so calm. When you look through the window, you just see nature. I mean, I learned to appreciate a lot of things. In as much as we have one bathroom, we can manage, because we don't spend a lot of time in the bathroom, right? We don't have visitors each and every day. The visitors only come once in a while. It's just me, my hubby, and my baby. We can manage with what we currently have. But the peace of mind that we have in this house, I cannot trade it for anything. No matter how the space, I'm not saying that we will live here forever, but currently I don't see the need to move, because I doubt if we'll ever get I know there are beautiful houses out there, there are beautiful apartments out there, but I think we're just so attached to this house in a way that I cannot even explain. And a time will come when we will move, but I think we will have to. It will be a lot of There will be a lot of considerations before doing that. Unless we plan, only when we plan to move from this house to our house, then that will be better. But moving to a rental apartment again, I think that will be something that we'll have to really look into before we decide to move. Because this house is amazing. I love it the way it is, with all the with its cons, with its pros. I love it the way it is, and I appreciate it each and every day. Like, I wake up every day and wonder, would it have been this way if you're in that other house? Because I'm telling you frankly, you would have lived to regret. That house was on the 6th floor. It was in town. The noise from vehicles would be heard. At night, the noise from the club. Initially, before moving in, I could not say that. Actually, it was just a way of convincing ourselves, because the noise from the vehicles were like, no, it's not that bad, because hata tukifunga madirisha tusikii kelele. So the thing that really made it worse was the noise from the club. Because hapo hiyo nayo we could not tolerate, we could not, because if we had, we would have regretted for quite long. And another thing, the living room and the kitchen, it was an open kitchen, but it was kind of, the whole space seemed cluttered, and it was not a nice view. And I'm very sorry I did not take a video for you guys. If I had taken a video, you would have agreed with me. This space looks so open. Its openness makes it look so clean, so organized, and that is what I love. And yeah, guys, actually that is, in a nutshell, that is what has happened to us in March. We moved out, then moved back in. It was, right now I kind of try to put one, to add 1+1 and see it's like everything, all the things that were happening were like against us moving, because there are actually some things that are so petty that were happening, that, you know, maybe those are signs that you're not supposed to move. Yeah, and if you had paid much attention, you would have noticed and would have realized. But anyway, at least it happened. It made us appreciate what we have right now more. And yeah, I cannot trade anything we have right now for anything, and I'm actually so grateful. And at least I got to go through that. I got to go through that. Not uploading videos, posting videos. I'm so sorry about that, and I'll try as much as possible to be consistent, because this inconsistency is also costing me a lot, because I've been MIA from all my social media platforms, Instagram, yeah, all of them. And I really hope that this month, this April, I'll be more consistent, and I pray I become more consistent, because I also miss posting videos. I miss you guys, because we normally talk through the comments, and I miss reading those, I miss answering those. And yeah, thank you so much, guys, for always being here, and supporting me. You support me tremendously, and I'm so grateful. I think I will have to end this video here. It has actually gone for quite a while, and thank you so much for joining me and for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed this video. And by the way, if you're new here, feel most welcome. My name is Monicah, and this channel is all about home cleaning, home organization, home making videos. And yeah, if that is the kind of content that you're interested in, please do not forget to subscribe, and also hit the notification bell so that you get notified each and every time I post new videos. So guys, I think that's the end of this, and I will see you in the next one.